you have read the first book, but you haven't read any of the books that haven't yet been covered by the show. What do you want to see next season? In some ideal world, which Game of Thrones never delivers, but...
Another one that's too easy. Joffrey ripped from limb to limb, or consumed in a ball of fire as he screams, a scream that no human has ever heard before. So come on, too easy drill sergeant. All right, but let's get beyond that, because everybody wants Joffrey murdered in the most vicious way possible. Maybe Ramsay Snow gets to him.
Oh, God.
I'm not sure, but that's the amazing thing.
They're pretty far apart.
Okay,
but maybe.
I don't know if it's because I'm a liberal or not, and besides which they're aligned at this point.
You're supposed to be against torture, by the way.
Okay, I'm against torture, I said. But no, what I was going to say is that I literally wouldn't wish Ramsay Snow on my worst enemy. Okay, even in the context of this fake dimension and Game of Thrones, etc., as much as I despise Joffrey, if you said to me, he either dies a quick death or he goes to Ramsay's Iron Cross or whatever that thing is, I'm like, all right, quick death. But I thought about it. Okay.
And you are one of the ones who says you hate Joffrey more than Walder Frey because you believe Walder Frey is strategic, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, in the Game of Thrones world, there's no one who is more vicious and petty and despicable than Joffrey.
Except for maybe Ramsay Snow. Both of them gleeful about the violence.
I hear you, but Ramsay's at least had some purpose.
I guess.
And is accomplished in some way. Whereas Joffrey, that little bitch, hasn't accomplished a damn thing in his life.
Yeah, he's a
goes
coward.
around saying, I am king, when in fact, if he had any sense about him, to his grandfather, he'd be like, what can I do, sir?
Yeah.
How can I help you, sir?
And if nothing else, Ramsay Snow did kill those 4 guys in the woods. Joffrey, the only way he can kill someone is to tie them to a bed and shoot them with a crossbow.
Yeah, oh God, come on.
So he loves the violence, but he has no courage, no bravery.
Yeah. And Ramsay's also is incredibly smart. He did that whole trick on Theon to find out where the boys are and all that stuff, and whether they were dead or not. So, but nonetheless, the second thing I'm looking forward to is, not necessarily in this order, but one of the other things I'm looking forward to is Ramsay's fight with Theon's sister. So that's a nice thing to look forward to. What's interesting is that I'm not looking forward to the Daenerys storyline as much as you think I should be. She's coming. I mean, for Christ's sake, cross the water already, right? Okay, you've got plenty of armies, plenty of dragons. In the real world, if I was her counselors, I'd be like, now let's sit on it for 10 years. Okay, wait for the dragons to get bigger. Okay, now your army will start to fall apart. I know, right?
You train more.
Okay, give me a couple of years for those dragons to grow up a little bit. But in the non-real world, go. Let's get in there and let's see what happens, right? And it makes her a little bit more fallible, or more defeatable.
If she doesn't have 3 dragons.
Right. So that makes it more interesting. Obviously, fire and ice are coming, and I'm interested to see who's going to get crunched in the middle.
Yeah.
But one last thing. I do find all the drama in the middle that is ultimately going to prove to be more irrelevant, right, to be more interesting.
Like Tyrion and Cersei being worried about who they marry and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I find the whole Lannister-Stark stuff much more interesting than the White Walkers and the dragons.
The big conflict,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because the dragons are going to roll on people until they meet.
Say that, but
I think until they meet some significant resistance, and the White Walkers are going to do likewise until Stannis. Can Stannis really put up a fight against the White Walkers? I guess we'll have to find out, isn't it? Look, last thing. Look, when the White Walkers finally cross the wall, which I'm not convinced is going to be season 4. I feel like that's going to be like season 6 or something. When they finally cross the wall, that's a nice moment, okay? That's a nice moment, like, okay, now the shit just got real.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll have to wait and see. It should only take, 275 days?
Or perhaps, if it's in a later season, we'll see you in 2017.